Yeah, I'm fed up with the cold now. I'm coming home.
It's the Daylight Midnight Show.
Now, I've just realised, with the way the weather has been in Britain for the past week, that could have been filmed anywhere in the UK over the past 7 days. But I assure you, that was filmed about 150 kilometres north of the Arctic Circle in rather extreme conditions. I think it was -18 that day. Not the coldest I experienced. We had it down to -29, which does quite remarkable things to your body. And I'm aware of the fact that, you know, I went away with really good intentions. This bit of work came up at short notice. I think I told you about it in the last episode. And I was going to film stuff while I was there. I thought it might not be every week, but I'll do videos as and when I can. I had this grand idea about filming something outside and calling it the Daylight Midnight Snow. Ha ha ha, how very clever. But it just didn't happen. In the end, the nature of the work I was doing, where I was, the people I was living with, it just wasn't possible to do regular videos. So I apologise for that. But I'm back, and it's great to be back, so let's get back into the swing of things then, if I can remember the order this show is supposed to go in. Our slogan of the week then, the printer still isn't fixed, and not only is the printer not fixed, I realised this morning I've run out of printer paper. So what I've had to do is get some old poster paper, the really big stuff, and cut it down to the size. Tell you, the production values on this show are just astounding. And this week's slogan is, it's good to be back. Because it is. It's good to be back in the country. It's good to be back in the Daylight Midnight studio. It's good to be back with this show. And that's the theme that I want to have in my head while I'm doing this for the next 10 minutes or so. That I need to enjoy it because it is so very good to be back. There it is on the Door of Delights. Something else I want to put on here as well. If you remember on the last episode, which I think was episode 9, I did this whole online quiz to discover the official fruit of the Daylight Midnight Show. I answered loads of questions honestly, and it told me that I was most similar to a kiwi fruit, and then gave some weird explanation as to why. And I said I would print off a picture, which I can't do because the printer's broken, so I've drawn one today. So there's my little rudimentary drawing of a kiwi fruit, which is the official fruit of the Daylight Midnight Show, and the one that apparently personality-wise I am most like, based on the online quiz that I did. So let's put that somewhere as well. I think that can go up there. Now let's put it above the outfit roulette. And now it's placed next to a proper bit of paper. You can see just how bad my effort with the scissors were. It doesn't matter. That sums up this show. It's a bit haphazard. It's a bit off the wall. It's certainly not on an even keel. So let's do our fun fact for a Friday then, which should be hiding in our little envelope. A fascinating fact for me to reveal to you on a Friday. And that fact is this. And do you know what? I'm going to have to change glasses because I can't read with those sunglasses on. I wanted to remain true to outfit roulette, but I just can't read. Maybe I can put them over the top so that I'm not breaking any rules. Let's try that like that. I look like some kind of weird insect. No, that doesn't work either. I think these are so old and so scratched that I can't see anything through them anyway. So I will keep switching between the two when I have to read something. Fascinating fact for a Friday then. On the winter solstice in Finland, there was a grand total of 72 minutes of daylight. I'm not kidding. Up there in the Arctic Circle, winter is a rather dark affair, and the shortest day was 1 hour and 12 minutes long. And you don't actually really see the sun anyway. It doesn't come up above the horizon, so you just get this weird effect where in an hour and a half you can watch a sunrise about there and then a sunset about there on the horizon, and that's all you get to see, and the rest of the time it's this weird grey twilight. I think the last 7 days I was over there, there was a grand total of 9.5 hours of official daylight, which is quite incredible. And it's been very weird to come back to Britain and have this sudden onslaught of daylight where we've got about 8.5 hours. And normally at this time of year, I can get quite depressed and moaning about the lack of light that we have. But I tell you what, after what I've been through in the past couple of months, it feels like I've been dropped into late spring. And it's very, very weird. It's very hard to get the hang of, I've got to be honest. And it's really hard to describe. If it's something you've never been through, it's a very, very weird thing to suddenly go from an hour of daylight a day to about 9 hours. And the way that your body and your brain reacts to that is quite fascinating. So I'll probably share more on that in the coming weeks and tell you a lot more about what I was up to while I was away. I did think about doing, because I'm going to do my week in 10 words now. I did think about doing my last 2 months in 10 words, but I thought it's very, very hard. Other than snow, cold, work, that's pretty much sums up everything. But I have done my week in 10 words. So this is the past 7 days. Snowy driving, the light room, gorgeous meal, researching near-death experiences. As usual with my life, that's quite a weird mixture. Which of those shall I talk about a bit more? Let's go with the Light Room, which is a venue in London. It's in King's Cross. I have no affiliation with it whatsoever. I went as a paying customer. But it's like a huge room with walls about 12 metres high, and there's a lot of digital projection. So they have these shows that are designed to be in the space, and you watch these incredible videos on the walls all the way around you, and there's a great sound system in there. And the one they're doing at the moment is about the Apollo moon landings. It's called the Moonwalkers. And it is incredible. It is genuinely one of the most awesome things I've been to as an event or a concert or an experience. I'm going to try and go back, but it finishes in March. So I'm going to try and go back. But that was a wonderful highlight of the past 7 days or so. So that takes us to the purple card. And it's so long since I played the theme song that I had to watch an old video to try and remember what chords I use and the tune. So let's see if we can get this right. I'm quite unreliable, I could be a scatty fellow. And so this week the purple card is in fact yellow. It's an E. Yes, there we go. So the purple card was where I just write stuff down and then we talk about it on a Friday. And in fact it's yellow at the moment because I happen to scribble this stuff down on a yellow card. But the same principle applies. So a few questions. Is this still Series 4? Is it Series 4B or is it Series 5? I think something we've learned over the years, you and I, is that I can go down little overthinking alleyways and get myself tied in knots thinking about stuff. And this has been one of them because I've filmed 9 weeks in a row and then we've had a 10-week gap. So I thought, does this still count as Series 4? Is it a continuation of the last series? Is it going to be a brand new series? Is it going to be a sort of subsection of Series 4? Or is it a brand new start, brand new year, and it's Series 5? And the clincher for me was having a chat with my son, who is a big fan of anime, and he said a couple of the anime shows he has seen, they've had huge breaks where there'll maybe be a 2-year gap between series. There'll be a 6-month gap maybe, but it still counts as the same season. It's just that they took a break in the way they were filming it. So I'm going to say that. We've had a little bit of a hiatus for other work, but we're still back. You can watch these in the order they have been produced and presented to you. And so we're still on Series 4, and I think this is episode 10. So that's solved that, and that's the yellow card for this week. I'm sure I'll write down more stuff as I get back into this as the weeks go by. And I think that's it for now. It's good to have a nice gentle one as I'm getting back into the swing of things. Suggestions for chapter 5 of our story. I'm not going to do interactive Greg and Nori this week because we've had a break. But if you remember right back at the start of this series, I came up with the title of a story. I wanted us to write it together. Different people have contributed different chapters. They're all very short, but I'm not going to read them all now. But if you go back and watch a previous episode, you'll hear the full story. And I'm now inviting you to come up with chapter 5. Tell us what Gordon Grape is up to next on his adventures in this world that we are creating between us. And I think that's it for now. So let's do our little choices by chance then. Let's start with the rotating randomness of the Rubik's Cube as we open up the doors on Outfit Roulette once again. That is white, so next week I will be wearing, what does that say? Oh, my reflexology shirt. Okay, yep, that's the one I've worn before in this series, but I decided to make it an undergarment. Over the top of that, whatever is in green, which will be my blue gig jacket. And finally, to accessorise all that, from column 3, we have whatever is in blue, and blue will be a baseball cap. So next week, reflexology shirt, blue gig jacket and a baseball cap, and I think we haven't had that combination before, which is great. Finally, the crinal coin toss, deciding whether my hair will be up or down, because it's been growing all the time I've been away. I still haven't had it cut, but will it be up or will it be down? Heads is for head of hair. I can't see what that is because I've got the wrong glasses on. Oh, it's heads. So heads is for head of hair, which means it will be flowing down, and you'll notice just how much longer it has got in the 10 weeks since I last recorded one of these shows. Well, to refer to this, our slogan of the week, it is good to be back. I'll see you next week. Have a great 7 days.